Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rubimi G. De Los Santos, and I am a first reporter of Group 5. And I am excited to share with you my report about indigenous pottery and clay works in the Philippines. In this report, we will explore how early Filipinos expressed their creativity through pottery and how this tradition crafts continue to represent a rich cultural heritage. Indigenous pottery and clay works in the Philippines. Pottery, making pots and jars of glaze, has been a big part of a Filipino culture for a very long time. It's not just for cooking and storing things, but also for rituals, ceremonies, and traditions. Pottery shows how creative and skilled indigenous communities are and how connected they are to nature. So, what is the history of potteries in the Philippines? Pottery in the Philippines goes back to prehistoric times. An example is the manhole jar from Palawan, made around 890 to 710 BCA or before Common Era, which was used for plurals. Early pottery was made from local clay and shaped from practical needs like palayok or cooking pot, banga or water jar. Indigenous communities have been making pottery long before the Spanish colonizations. Designs and techniques change depending on where people live, and some coastal areas were influenced by trade with countries like China and Southeast Asia. Indigenous pottery and clay works in the Philippines shows the creativity and skills of early Filipinos. Our ancestors used clay from the earth to make pots, jars, and other tools for cooking, storing food, and rituals. Each community has its own designs and styles that reflect their culture and traditions. Today, these pottery works remind us of our rich history and strong connection to the nature. Indigenous pottery in the Philippines is a rich and diverse tradition that varies across different regions and indigenous groups. These pottery practices are deeply rooted in cultural heritage and often serve functional, ceremonial, and artistic purposes. Some notable examples is the Kalinga pottery, Ifugao pottery, and the Ifatan pottery. Now, let's tackle the indigenous potteries and traditions. The first one is Kalinga pottery in northern Luzon. So, the Kalinga pottery is made by Kalinga women known for large cooking pots called banga. Made by hand without a pottery well. Pots are decorated with geometric designs inspired by nature, used for cooking, storing water, and fermenting rice wine. One of indigenous pottery tradition is Kalinga pottery of northern Luzons. Kalinga pottery is one of the oldest and most well-preserved traditional crafts in the Philippines. It is originated from the Kalinga province in the Cordillera region of northern Luzon, where the Kalinga people have been practicing pottery making for centuries. This craft reflects not only their artistic skills but also their deep connection with nature and community life. So the Kalinga designs or decoration often has simple yet meaningful designs such as geometric patterns like lines, zigzags, or triangles, while their symbols of nature like mountains, rivers, or rice grains. Their designs are not just decorative, they represent the Kalingas people's beliefs, tradition, and way of life. Pottery plays a significant role in the daily life and culture of Kalinga people. So, in addition, Kalinga pottery is more than just making pots. It is an expression of art, tradition, and connection to the land. It showcases how the Kalinga people preserve their identity and heritage through their hands and hearts. So the next one is the Palawan pottery or the Tagbanwa. So the pottery of the Palawan is made by the Tagbanwa people. It is used for food storage and rituals. Pots are simple and unglazed with minimal designs. Far and open air cleans and often used in ceremonies like ancestors' worships. Palawan pottery is one of the beautiful traditions crafts of the indigenous people in the province of Palawan, Philippines. It reflects the creativity, culture, and daily life of the Palawan, Tagbanwa, and other native groups living in the area. So, in addition, today, Palawan pottery is valued not just as a household item, but also as a cultural heritage and art form. It helps preserve indigenous traditions and provides livelihood opportunities for local artisans. It also promoted in cultural festivals and tourism to celebrate the island's rich history. And the last one, indigenous pottery tradition, is Evatan pottery of Batanes Island. So, the Evatan pottery is made by the Evatan people known for being frost and weather resistant. They're designed for harsh weather, storms, and strong winds. Pots are mainly for storing water and cooking. So, Evatan pottery is a traditional form of clay art made by the Evatan people of Batanes, the northernmost islands of the Philippines. This pottery reflects the Evatans' resourcefulness, creativity, and deep connection to the water. The Evatan pottery was mainly used for everyday life such as storing food and water, cooking or serving meals, whole grains, or root crops. So the importance of the pottery shows how the Evatans adapt to their environment and make use of what nature provides. It also reflects their self-sufficiency and respect for tradition passed down through generations. In conclusion, indigenous potteries and clayworks in the Philippines are not just simple crafts. They are living testaments of our ancestor, creativity, patience, and deep connection with the earth. May we continue to value and preserve this traditional part of our cultural identity. To furthermore understand about this topic, my group mates will discuss it. And that's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss. So I am Sisha Marie Lanchinebre and I am the second reporter of Group 5. So Miss De Los Santos introduced to us the indigenous pottery here in the Philippines. And also, she introduced to us that indigenous pottery showcase the rich heritage and culture here in our country. And also, she gave us the information of the different types of pottery that can be found here in the Philippines. And now, I will be tackling or I am going to discuss the different types or techniques of clay works. So today, we are going to tackle the different techniques in indigenous pottery and clay work. So first is the hand molding. When we talk about hand molding, everyone, it is a technique where potters shaped clay by hand without using a pottery wheel. So even though way back before nga na-invent ka mga pottery wheel or machines kay ang mga potters or indigenous potters they tend to use hand molding techniques. Kaya para nila, ang hand molding techniques kay naka-help gani para sila ang makakontrol. It's either ganahan ba sila nga unsa ka baga, unsa ka nipis, unsa ka taas, o unsa ka mubo nga pots or jars ilang gusto. And whereas kung magamit sila pottery wheel or machines, kay kanang dili sila ka-control. And also, with the accompany of paddles and anvils, kaning nasa picture, kay nakatabang ni siya para ma-refine ang shape og ang form sa pottery. And now, we are moving to the next techniques. It is the coil and pinch method. So I have here a reference or some visual representation para ma-visualize nato kung unsay kalahian sa duha ka technique. So first, let us know kung unsa niyang coil method. So when we talk about coil method, everyone, as you can see sa kanang picture, so it is a process in whereas gi-roll gani ang clay into long, thin strands. Kana nakita niya sa picture. Para maong gi-roll siya kay para gani maka-layer o maka-belt sa vessel walls. On the other hand, if you are going to talk about the pinch method, so it is a process in whereas pinching between the finger and the thumb, like sa picture, kikosi-kosi siya. Ang kalahian sa duha sa coil and sa pinch method, ang coil kay siya ang nag-build through rolling sa clay, gi-build ang vessel or gi-layer. Ighumanan niya layer, diyan na may tabaong pinch method para maka-form na siya og shapes. So kumbaga, ang coil and pinch method, it is the oldest pottery making techniques nga gigamit gihapon throughout sa karon nga generation. So the next technique is the open fire kilns. So when you talk about open fire kilns, everyone, it is a fire in open air kilns or simple brick ovens. So you might be wondering, anong naapil ang open fire kilns technique? Kailangan day sunugon ang clay? However, ang tabagana ay yes, of course, to add some texture gani or to add some beauty or aesthetic value sa usa ka pots. Kay through sa kiln techniques, kay mag-add gani siya mga smoky effects. Muna siya ang purpose sa open fire kilns. Dara ay ang process sa kaning picture. So dara everyone ang process sa open fire kilns nga technique. So like what akong gi-mention ganina nga kanang apil ni siya kay kuan gani kanang to add some beauty or to add some aesthetic value gani sa usa ka pots kanang through sa color nga black, red, kay kung puro lang siya brown or natural color sa clay, though yes, nice siya kay we do believe that simplicity, there's a beauty and simplicity. However, through sa kaninga techniques kay nag-add kini siya smoky effects na pagka black, nga pagka brown, padong red. So muna siya ang purpose or rason nga na-appeal ang open fire kilns technique. And the fourth and last technique is the burnishing and decoration. So dara ako ipakita nga picture. So as you can see sa picture everyone, when we talk about decoration, so with the use of simple tools like sticks or shells, managigamit sa mga potters para kay to etch or to craft or to draw sa ilang mga designs with the use of kanang sticks or shells, just like kung say na ada sa picture. And when we talk about burnishing sand, it is a process of rubbing the surface with a smooth object like a stone. So kani like sa picture, so with the use of stone kay it gives the pots a sheen gani kanang to para mo glaze gani ang naong kanang murag ni pag glossy effect ba. So mo na ang the difference between the burnishing and the decoration nga technique. And now we are going to tackle the aesthetic value of pottery. So nakipangutan na everyone, if you're going tulok sa usa ka pot or jars or bisag unsa mga butang, what are the aesthetic qualities or traits or it's either ang form ba, ang color, ang makaingon ta nga, nice na siya nga pots, no? And in connection sa indigenous pottery, ang aesthetic value sa pottery nato here in the Philippines is not just about sa kanang ihang kanay sa color, sa kanay sa ihang form, or sa kanay sa ihang ipang draw. Instead, ang aesthetic value diri sa toa diri sa Philippines in terms sa pottery kay it is an art form and a functional craft because like what we mentioned ni Miss Roby May, nga ang mga pots nato diri it's crafted or rooted sa atong mga cultural and historical context. So kumbaga, wala lang sila naghimo og pots pang design lang dira pero sa bain lang. Instead, nag-create sila pots kay tungod it was deeply rooted sa atong culture or sa atong rich heritage here in the Philippines. And whereas through sa kanang pots or pottery kay gimer gani ang kanang culture sa specific nga lugar like sa gidiscuss ni Mr. Bumi. And I am going to introduce to you the 3 aesthetic value nga makuha nato diri sa Pilipinas. So the first aesthetic value, everyone, is the form and functionality. The form of pottery, especially in indigenous Filipino communities, is often guided by its functionality. Yet, even utilitarian objects such as cooking pots, water jars, and storage vessels are crafted with care and precision. The beauty of pottery is rooted in the harmonious blend of form and functions. So, ang uso daw sa nagpa-add og aesthetic value sa pottery or pots kay ang form and functions. Because try to imagine everyone, kung ang form niya kay kanang kuan siya, manunggal jar, tas ang function nimo kay himuon nimong flower vase. So, kumbaga, wala wala nag-blend ang form and functionality. So, here in the Philippines, usa sa naghatag og aesthetic value sa pots kay iyang form ug functionality, ang iyang shape ug ang iyang gamit. Same sa kaning mga water jars, cooking pots, mana siya ilang form ug ilang function. The second aesthetic value is the proportion and symmetry. Many indigenous pottery pieces are valued for their proportion shapes with symmetrical lines that give the vessel a balanced and pleasing appearance. So I have here a picture para ma-visualize nato. So dara, so when you talk about proportion, everyone, sa may masud sa atong mind. So of course, it refers to the balanced relationship between the vessel's part. It's either ang height, ang width, ang kabaga, na. So same sa documentation dira. Nice kayo ang proportion sa it. Bisag unsa ka dako, unsa ka gamay, maragi na siya aesthetic value, na siya dating para nato. And when we talk about symmetry, everyone, so it means mirroring shapes or patterns along axis. So same sa kanang nasa center, nag-mirror sa snake, a dragon di ay, na nag-mirror siya sa pikas na pod. So kumbaga, naging-balance between sa symmetry and sa mga kanang gipang draw niya. And sa kaninga technique or kaninga aesthetic nga value kay, it gives a balanced and pleasing appearance. Kaya tinawa sa first nga kanang proportion ra siya, ang iharang ka-move-on. Nice gyapon, right? Na diri sad sa kinalasan, bisa pagbula ta ka sa butong unsa na siya, pero nice gani ang ihang pagkadako. And pagapod na sa center, kay with the use na sa symmetry o sa kanang proportion, nagay siya balance and pleasing appearance. And the last and not definitely the least aesthetic value of pottery here in the Philippines is the organic form. So indigenous pottery often mimics natural forms such as rounded vessels that resemble organic shapes like gourds or seed pods, which reflect a connection to nature. So nakaipakita nga picture para ma-visualize din nato. So dara, as you can see sa picture, indigenous pottery often mimics natural form. So nakita ni dira, nag-reflect siya sa connection sa nature. It's either na flowers or na mga animals, kay wala raman sila nag-draw or naghimo sa kana nga mga form, kay para lang gani for kanang imi lang. Kumbaga na gani siya ecological relationships and spiritual beliefs. Same sa kaning first nga picture, ang Ang nadiha nga form or gidrow kay zigzag. So, ang zigzag daw, nag-reflect na siya sa kanang river. So, kay mo may nakakita sa mga tao. And also, it also reflects sa kanaging life sa mga tao. And next, kay napot sila gipang draw nga mga triangle. So, ang kanang triangle daw kay it reflects daw sa mountains. So, kung kumbaga ang form sa mga patterns here in the Philippines, kay nag-reflect siya sa connection sa nature. Kay mora man ilang nakita and also sa ilang spiritual beliefs. And that is the end of my discussion. So you might be wondering anong gamay ra siya. It's because ako ra siyang introduce ang mga techniques sa mga indigenous pottery. Pero ang co-reporters nako, they are going to dig deeper or discuss sa mga process or ways sa pagbuhat sa indigenous pottery. Thank you for listening.
Good day, everyone. I am Danica May M. Tagalog, the third reporter of Group 5. Today, I'm going to report about surface decoration and texture of pottery. Pottery is not only used in daily life, but it also reflects the culture, beliefs, and creativity of the people nga naghimo niini. Each pattern, texture, and color has a story behind it. So, mauni ang beauty sa indigenous pottery. So now, let's start with surface decoration and texture. The surface of pottery pieces is often decorated with designs and textures that show the culture of the potters. Dili lang siya pang pabongga or pang art, but it shows their identity and beliefs. The designs make the pottery beautiful and meaningful at the same time. The first technique is carving and incising, where potters carve or cut designs into the surface of the pot. For example, in Kalinga pottery, they use geometric designs such as triangles and zigzag lines. These patterns are not just random. They symbolize mountains, rivers, and nature. It shows that the Kalinga people are deeply connected to their environment. Each line and shape tells a part of their story, like a visual language. So now, the next one is burnishing. This is the process of polishing the pot surface using a smooth stone to make it shiny and strong. Like for example, in Ifugao pottery, burnishing gives the pot a glossy finish and helps it last longer. So dili lang siya pang display, pero functional gihapon for everyday cooking or storing food. It proves that indigenous people combine beauty and practically in their art. Now, we have color and firing techniques. During the firing process, the color of the clay changes depending on the fire and smoke. Like for example, in Tagbanwa pottery from Palawan, they use open-air firing, resulting in natural colors like red, brown, or black. Each pot becomes unique, murag fingerprint gani sa nature because no two pieces look the same. The Tagbanwa people use the elements of nature itself to make their pottery beautiful. Next, let's move to symbolism and cultural meaning. Every design in indigenous pottery has a meaning. They use art to express their beliefs, culture, and traditions. These patterns act as symbols that connect them to their ancestors and to nature. Ni ang unang example aning symbolism and cultural meaning kay ang geometric patterns. So, geometric patterns are common in Kalinga pottery. The triangles and zigzags symbolize mountains, water, and life. It shows balance and harmony sa kabalibutan o palibot. So, these geometric forms are like messages passed from generation to generation. Another one is animal and plant motifs. So in Cordillera pottery, potters include designs of animals like lizards and birds, and plants like rice stalks. These motifs are believed to protect the family or bring good fortune. Like for example, the rice plant designs means abundance and blessings. So makita nato nga their art has both beauty and spiritual meaning. So next, we have ritual significance. So pottery also plays a role in ceremonies and beliefs. A perfect example is the Manunggul jar from Palawan. So it's a burial jar with two human figures riding a boat on its lid. This symbolizes the soul's journey to the afterlife. So for early Filipinos, pottery wasn't just a tool. It was sacred. It carried spiritual value and respect for life and death. Then, we have cultural identity and aesthetic evolution.
each region in the Philippines has its own pottery style that reflects its culture. Like for example, the Ifugao rice jars show their deep connection to rice farming and community life. So the designs and techniques are passed down through generations, showing how culture and art stay alive through time. So even in modern potters today are inspired by these traditional styles. And now, let's talk about timelessness and simplicity. So many indigenous pots are not highly decorated, but they still look beautiful because of their natural and raw appearance. So the best example is the banga. The banga is a traditional clay water jar used in many parts of the Philippines. Simple lang siya and glazed but very functional and elegant. It shows that simplicity can be powerful and traditional craftsmanship never fades with time. So, conclusion, indigenous pottery is more than function. It is art, culture, and identity passed through generations. So, yes, of course, pottery is not just about shaping clay, it's about shaping culture and history. Each pot, design, and pattern tells a story of creativity, spirituality, and identity. So, bisan pa karon sa modern times, indigenous pottery continues to inspire artists because of its timeless beauty and deep cultural meaning. So, that's all from my report. Thank you for listening, and once again, this is Dani Kami, Montardi Tagalog, the third reporter of Group 5.
Good day, everyone. I am Crystal Anconde, the fourth reporter of Group 5. So now let's move on to cultural and ritual significance of indigenous pottery. So in this report, we will know what role pottery played in the daily lives of early Filipinos. Pottery is not just a tool. It is also part of our culture, especially sa mga indigenous Filipino. Ang mga pots is gigamit nila in ceremonies nga nag-symbolize of beliefs and identities. And also, this also shows us that pottery connects life and spirituality. One famous example is the Banga of Kalinga or the Banga dance. So during weddings and feasts, women carry pots on their heads in the banga dance. So, pare ato sa katong example sa kato ganing si Sitiyo, kanang sa Sitiyo dance troupe, Sitiyo Hugyaw. So, magpatong sila og mga banga sa ilahang ulo because nagsymbolize siya or nag-show ni siya og beauty sa ilang tradition and ang value sa pottery sa ilahang community. So, this is one of example nga kana ganing pottery is used in ceremonies and also nagsymbolize ni siya og beliefs and identity sa Osaka community. So the another one is Manunggul jar. So Manunggul jar is considered as one of the most important artifacts bito in the Philippine history because it shows nga kanang ang pottery is connected with siya to life and death. And for the Tagabanwa people, kay Tagabanwa people man may nag-create ani nga jar, kaning they see the jar or the jars as kana bitong kaning spiritual and kanang they believe nga kanang it is used to call their ancestors bitaw. And fun fact is kaning Manunggul jar is over 2,000 years old na ni siya. Na-discover ni siya sa burial site sa Palawan pag 1962 ni Robert B. Fax o ni Miguel Antonio. So, as you can see in the picture na ay duha ka figure nga nagsakay og boat. So, ang kaning nag-una nga figure, mao na siya ang kaning soul bitaw sa dead, mo na siya ang kaning kumbaga pagtuos sa Tagabanwa people, ilan lang represent ang jar nga ang kanang duha ka figure is mao na siya ang kaning ang nag-una nga figure is mo na siya ang kaning soul sa ilang namatay nga namatay nga kamag-anak baron or ancestor nila. Then ang kaning ikaduha nga figure kana bitaw nagpaddle siya sa boat. So mao na siya ang gitawag nila og spirit guide. So nga kaning si spirit guide mao ni siya ang magdala sa soul sa ilang ancestor or soul sa ilang kamag-anak baron nga namatay adto sa afterlife. So as you can see no kanang ang ato kay lahi-lahi jud og kanang kumbaga lahi-lahi jud og kanang rule ang kaning jar or ang pottery in our daily life as a Filipino bitaw, naago siya kumbaga tagsatag sa nga symbolism ang kaning jar, so or ang pottery naago siya tagsatag sa nga gamit gud sa ato ang kinabuhi as a Filipino, and kanang dili pud ta kailangan dili gani nato i-judge nga kanang pottery ra man na kaning jar ra man na siya nung himo-himo man na, but kaning dili nato sila i-judge kay kaning as you can see, iya man ta og beliefs and kanang diverse man ta og beliefs. So in that way bitaw kay dapat hunaw-hunaon gani nato nga kanang we are kanang unique bitaw, diverse bitaw ta, and kanang mas ma-proud sad ta ba nga kanang ma-proud ta nga ang ato ang kaning kumbaga rich ta sa culture and rich ta sa kaning mga spiritual beliefs, mga beliefs ato an kaning mao na siya naka-create siya ta og identity bitaw sa ato as a Filipino. So, beyond being useful, pottery also kanang unites people through sharing of foods and kaning drinks in a jar. And kanang during bitaw rituals and ceremonies kay kaning it is one of the way nga nagka-unite bitaw ang mga indigenous Filipino or mga Filipino kita kay kaning through kaning sharing of food and drinks bitaw sa usa ka pot or usa ka jar, it is considered as very intimate bitaw siya sa ato, and kaning through that is pakita bitaw nato nga kaning we treat each other as a family, and kaning we all know that not all country are kana gining or kana bitong open-minded in sharing food, especially sa usabot ang talang sa usa ka pot nga kaning magtampo-tampo kitang tanan nya mag-kaon ta, dili man tanan ana dili tanan country ingon ana bitaw kay kanang kumbaga kaning basta dili sila kaning open-minded when it comes sa inana, and kaning as Filipino kita is kaning inana to ang kumbaga inana bitaw to ang pag-care sa usag-usa, magpakita na to nga we are family or welcome ta sa usag-usa through kaning sharing sa food, and kaning in that way bitaw kay mako na to nga pottery is kaning not just kanang atul bitaw, it is also one of the ways why kaning we Filipinos or we indigenous sa unang mga Filipino is kaning very kanang naapit good relationship and harmonious relationship with each other. And also this also proves that kaning creativity and resilience of indigenous Filipino. Why? Because also kaning through pottery is kanang nakapakita nila ilang creativity bitaw ilang pagka kaning imaginatives ilang hunahuna kay kaning imagine ha nahuna nila nga ang lapok or ang clay kay mahimo di ay og kaning pot nga makaluto ta, makakaon ta, magamit og spoon, magamit og kaninana, and kaning as a Filipino we must also be very proud bitaw nga kaning atong mga kaning ancestors sa una is kaning grabe kayo og kanang brilliant mind gani kayo, and kaning in that kaning we must repay it nga karon nga i-preserve ito nato ato ang culture nga for example kanang sa pottery i-preserve nato ang kaning mga gipanghimo bitaw nila sa dili na to usik-usikan bitaw, and also kaning karon is kaning even though kanang naay mga modern tools nga pwede na i-replace sa clay pots, and kaning naadya po yung mga efforts nga as Filipino mo niya to ang mahimo nga ma-repay sa ilahang mga brilliant mind or mga ilahang mga katong creativity nila sa una. As a Filipino, we are very proud of that nga inana nga to ang mga ancestors, and kaning one of the way nga ma-payback na to ilahang pagkakuan sa una is ang kaning true preservation sa ilahang gipangbuhat as what I've said ganina. And kaning also pod kaning as a Filipino we are very kana bitong sentimental bitaw kay example kanang naay kaning gamit sa ato ang namatay nga mga ancestors, and kaning very matandala ma-antique na siya karon, so in that way bitaw kay kaning kitang mga Filipino kay very kana sentimental bitaw ta nga dili na to salig kay bago ilabi na to ang daan, so ingon ana bitaw ta and kaning yes, gi-preserve jud mo na siya nga sa kaning mga Filipino heritage, and kaning because as again, mamo gina symbolize ato ang identity. So mo ning gi-preserve ni siya, and kaning manggawas na siya kadalasan di ba inig kanang bunga ng wika kay kaning mag-display din sa mga bahay kubo, ipang-display din ang kaning mga pots, and also sa tinud-an lang good bisa ang mga katiguangan karon ingnon sila nga nauntay mga patanta lang na kaldero para sa ununan, maingon sila nga mas lami jud kuno ang katong clay pots bitaw sa una nga kaning ununan kay kaning kumbaga mogawas bitaw kuno ang kalami sa isda kaysa sa karon nga mga kaldero mga stainless. So now let's move on to utilitarian purpose of pottery. So when we say utilitarian, it is something designed to be useful rather than to be attractive. So pottery is gihimo siya not just kanang design sa balay or palamuti, but it is kana bitong gihimo siya to help sa ato ang pangadlaw-adlaw nga kinabuhi. So pottery has always been useful in daily life, especially in indigenous communities. It is used for cooking, storing food, and keeping water, making it part of our everyday survival. Kaya sa una no, wala pa may ref para ikabutan sa itong pagkaon para dili mapanos. So si pottery, dili siya masud. And also, wala may butanganan o galing tubig sa una. So diri, tungod din pottery, nakahimo og jar. And yes no, sa lutuanan, tungod din pottery, nakahimo ta og katong clay pot, nakahimo tag basta madiscuss na siya and kaning mga mosunod nga mga slides. So diri no makita jud nato nga kaning grabe jud kagamit ang pottery bitaw. Kaning dili lang siya sa beliefs, dili lang siya magamit sa ceremonies, sa kaning kuan, but yes, it is kaning very important, especially sa una nga wala pa jud intay mga modern tools nga magani karon is kaning very sayo na lang jud kaayo ta nga naatay ref, madali-dali ra nato, but ang sa una is very lisod jud siya. So dako jud kaning tabang ang pottery sa una. And as again gibalik-balik na ako, we are very proud nga na-discover ni nila, kay kung wala nila discover, dili pud ta ka-discover aning mga stainless nga kaldero, stainless nga mga kuan. So no, dili maabot sa karon nga present kung wala ang mga roots sa past nga gihimo nila nga kumbaga stepping stone nato nga nakahimo ta og mas madali na lang nga mga lutuanan baron, butanganan sa tubig. So very gamit jud kay ni si potteries ato ang pangadaadlaw nga kinabuhi. So the first utilitarian purpose of pottery is cooking and food preparation. So as you can see in the picture shows palayok or cooking pot. So ang palayok is a round clay pot used for cooking stews, mga sabaw-sabaw, and rice over an open flame. Nakainumdum ko sa una is kanang diri magluto og kaning puto, like puto diri magluto og kaning nakasaypod ko nga diri iluto ang ganing bibingka, pero mas dako lang to siya nga pot, like pataas siya nga pot ba. And kaning mga bibingka, mga kaning bibingkang palutaw, kanang mga ina nag-ani kay ang akong lula is kaning ganahan man siya magluto ani, and kaning bisag garon is nagihapon siya ang pot. And due to its porous nature, it allows heat to distribute evenly. So kaning when we say porous nature is kamantay mo ng sponge nga puno-puno sa kaning buho. So tungod ana niya is kanang na igayo bitaw kay kanang wala bitay mas malabi nga kaning init kay tungod sa buho po niya. So evenly ang pag-distribute bitaw sa kaning sa kayo og sa heat. So in that way kay mas malami bitaw siya ang kaning taste sa usa ka pagkaon, kay para sa giingon ako ganina no nga bisag 15 pasultion jud lami jud ang kaning sudan nga giluto sa clay pot or palayok or kaning yes, mas lami jud siya kay tungod sa iyang porous nature nga katong buho-buho nga maka-distribute og evenly nga heat nga mas makapa-tastier sa usa ka pagkaon. So ang kaning kadalasan niyang kaning gamiton niya ang palayok sa pagluto og adobo, sinigang, and nilaga. One of kaning nga mga dish is kaning mo niya nga to ang kumbaga famous dish bitaw sa Filipino. We are known for this kaning adobo, sinigang, and nilaga. And also kaning sila is kanang mas ideal bitaw ni ang palayok nga lutoon ni ang diri lutoon ang adobo, ang sinigang, ang nilaga. It is because tungod kay katong iyang porous nature kay kaning evenly distributed man ang heat. So ang kaning di ba palatan pa ang magnilaga ta, palatan pa na siya. So mas ideal jud siya nga ari lutoon kay kaning mas kumbaga mas siksik bitaw niya nga kanang mas ma-ensure niya ba nga ang mas kanang ang nilaga is mo soft bitaw siya, ang labi na sinigang, mga adobo, mga baboy. So nauban nga gahi jud kay tanan, labi nagkaning mga tiguang na nga mga baboy. So kani good is very kuan kini siya nga kaning mas ideal ni siya gamiton ang. So next is caldero and talyasi. So kaning when we say caldero, mo siya ang kaning kabaw na matausan ng kaldero no, kaning kaning imo ni siya ang kumbaga kaning clay lang na version ba, kay ato kay stainless naman karon. So kaldero lutoanan og kaning rice. And karon ang talyasi mo na siya ang kaning wide cooking pan. So kani di ba sa Bisaya pa mo ni siya ang kaha. So kaha siya nga made from clay of course. And kaning mao siya ang kaning traditional nga kaning part bitaw sa to ang Filipino kitchens. And kaning yes of course ang kaning ang kaldero gamiton sa paglungag and kaning pagpabukal sa mga napabukalon nga mga sabaw-sabaw, pwede sa ni siya gamiton. Ang talyasi of course magisa. So kaning the use of kaning kaldero ang talyasi and kaning the use of kaning clay pots nga sa version ani niyang duha, kaning mag-add din siya og earthy flavors ato ang dishes, and kaning tungod sa material nga nag-enhance ato ang kaning cooking process by allowing steam to escape and maintaining moisture in the food. So mas napadagdag gud siya og mas lami gani tungod pod sa kanayahang buho-buho nga kaning nature sa pot. So kaning kaldero ang talyasi is kaning mas napa-enhance man ron tungod kay stainless siya, and ang mas maka-down mas gud aning kuan ang kaning pot is dali sad bitaw siya mabuak, like kaning kung matagak nimo gamay or matapsingan lang mabuak din siya, and tungod sa nakasuway sad mi ani kaning tungod kung madugay bitaw rin siya pamaayo sad kay kaning mukrak bitaw siya, and nay tendency nga ang kaning bitaw kaning mga materials or kaning mga clay nga nagbuo ani nga pot kay naay tendency nga mga tipak-tipak bitaw siya niya, delikado sad ba kay masagol gani sa pagkaon kung dugay na jud kini sa nimo nga gigamit ba nya, kung kaning mo nang ang uban sa drone kay nag-move na lang pud sila kaldero, pero napoy uban para sa amo ang kanang nagkuan siya pud mi og kaning pot pare aning kaldero talyasi or kaning palayok nagkuan siya pud mi ba murag kung pagagamiton gani siya is kaning once in a month na lang, kung mag-un-un ra nya kanang kumbaga dili gud mo permihon og gamit ba para mas para malikayan bitaw ang pagkaguba niya, or mas dapat yun siyang i-preserve bitaw as kaning kay kuan na lang kani karon man kanang tagsa na lang gud kay ni siya kay ang mga tao karon kay kaning electricity na ang gamit, ang uban kay kanang gasol, ang uban kay kaning nadyo po'y magkahoy, kami magkahoy sa gyapon mi, so lahi-lahi na jud dili wala na jud kayo mo gamit aning kaning palayok karon, but kaning ang uban is kanang makita na to sa mga cooking shows, especially katong sa TV5 dili TV5 like kaning channel 2 katong si Pokwang kaning kusina ni kaning mang something like that, kaning si Pokwang ang kuan kay na makita jud po ni sila dito pero dili din sila ang gamiton og luto, kumbaga mo na lang ni siya ang container gani like para kaning as if nga diha nagluto like aesthetic mo na lang siya ang gamiton as container kay kaning maguba man siya or kanang tungod sa kadugayon sa siguro to, so maong inana na lang ihang pa. So the next utilitarian purpose of battery is water and food storage. So, kaning storing water and food was one of the primary purpose of battery in early Filipino societies. Kay of course no, kay kaning wala para sa giingong ganina, wala man sila ref para kabutangan in taon sa ilang kaning food sa una para di mapanos, and wala pud sila kaning kumbaga ang butangan na bitaw sa tubig sa una kay kanang kumbaga wala sila kaning tarong kaning butanganan, so the clay's natural ability to insulate and keep contents cool made it an ideal material for this task. So tungod no kay ang clay is kaning bugno bitaw siya depende sa kuan bitaw sa panahon, kung i-store lang nimo siya in a kaning cool place pud yes mubugno pud siya, and kanang nakasoy pud kog inom ani sa kaning kay jar man ang kuan lagi sa katiguangan sa una made of clay, and yes no kanang ang tubig gud niya is kanang mubugnaw gani siya kay wala man sila ref sa una, so it is very ideal bitaw nga kanang ang jar is kaning made of kaning clay siya, and kanang yes kaning mastoran jud siya og kaning tubig, and kanang also pod sa kanang especially kanang bitaw mga kaning fermentation kay kaning gamit jud kaayo ang kaning battery. So as we go all and the kaning sunod-sunod nga slides kay mahibawon jud nato unsay kaning mga kaning kadalasan kaning gamiton sa kaning battery as kana bitang sa fermentation unsay kadalasan like mga ginamos baron mga ina lang gani. So mo ni siya wala man dili man ta ka kaning sa tawag ani dili kaayo kanang kumbaga wala kaayo gamit sa una nga para sa fermentation para sa butangan ng tubig. So kani si battery pag sudan niya is very dako jud kayo og kana bitaw natabang siya sa pang-adlaw-adlaw nga kinabuhi sa ato ang kaning mga indigenous people sa una, and yes kanang it is kaning nice to know bitaw as a student as a kaning future teacher nga kaning ini kung kita na po'y puhon mo tudlo sa sa mga bata na pod is kaning nindot siya nga dili dapat kanang kumbaga dili gani wag tangon ang kaning importance aning pateri or kaning pateri, yes. Dili siya kaning kumbaga pahalagahan gani siya kay kanang dili man sa ingon nga salig na natay mga bag-o karon na natay mga kaning mga bag-o nga mga appliances, mga bag-o nga mas ma-leverage bitaw ang pagkaning kuan sa kinabuhi nato. Dili man sa ingon nga dapat kalimtanan nato ang kaning past bitaw, but kaning majud siya is kaning we cannot kaning abot diri sa future or sa present without the roots bitaw sa past. So it is very important nga kita teachers kay bawta di inagikan unsay gamit aning pateri para po dili maignorante ato ang mga bata nga tudloanan punya pohon. So here are the common vessels. So as you can see in the picture, the first one is the banga or what we call the water jar. So as you can see in the picture, no, it is a large clay jar used for storing drinking water. So its thick walls help keep water cool. So kani siya is kaning bisag karon gihapon kay anaa gihapon ganin siya kay muni kadalasan butangan bitaw nila sa ilahang imnanan nga tubig kay kaning para sa akong lulog-lula kay kanang wala may ref sa una para mabugnaw ang tubig. So ari nila isulod kay kaning bugnaw man ni siya tungod sa iyahang kanang baga bitaw iyahang kutan-awon sa kaniyang mga kaning kumbaga iyahang kaning walls nga nakapalibot sa iyaha ba. So in that way bitaw kay an bugnaw pud sa iyahang kaning ang kaning bitaw nga pat kay bugnaw guni siya if ever bisag kana gining ibutang nimo siya sa mo adapt nakabantay ka no mo adapt ni siya sa kana gani sa heat ug sa kaning sa kabugnaw sa panahon kay nakatesting mi ato kani kung ibutang bitaw nimo siya kilid sa kanang kahoy bitaw kay kanang di ba bugnaw man na no. So ang kani pud siya ang sud niya is mubugnaw pud siya, but if ever imo gani na siyang ibutang pud sa init, of course ang sud pud niya mura sa sig nilaga tungod sa kainit. So bisag karon ang aghapon ni siya especially sa mga rural areas bitaw and kanang yes nagsilbi sa din siya nga kaning very vital sa din sa of course no kay kaning pater is kaning vital maguni siya sa kaning life sa ato mga indigenous kaning ancestors and kaning yes very vital gud ni siya nga kaning kuan gani kay kung wala ni siya unsa man ilang storan sa tubig nga wala may ref wala may kuan like magkawayan sa una gamiton di ba baso kawayan nya muliki man siya. So ang kanin siya is very vital bitaw gud kanin sila lahang kaning panginabuhi sa una. Ani bisan karon ang agihapon ni karon diri sa amoa sa nasa ni siya sa ako ang lula kay kaning hipuson mag nanamog mga Filipino no kay very kuan man jud ta kaning grabe man jud ta kaning pagmahal sa ato mga past nga mga butang. So mao pud ni nagpakita nga gikip gihapon nato ang kana bitaw ang richness ato ang culture bitaw sa tagtag sinato nga panimalay. So ana gyapon siya sa amoa kay gamiton kadalasan kay butangan na lang ni siya og tubig dili na imnonon kay naa na may mineral water ang kani butangan na lang ni siya sa kana ganing ihugas sa plato. So mo ni siya ang kadalasan nga gamiton sa ako ang lula. And kung kani pong uban pasultihon akong kaning pinakalula pa jud nga lula sa tuhod kung siya po'y pasultihon is kani daw is kanang mas prefer daw niya kaysa sa kaning artificial nga kaning ref bitaw. Artificial ang pagpabugnaw kani man jud is kanang musabay jud ni siya sa panahon kung unsa gani ang like kung unsa ang kaning temperature sa iyang place maupod ang sa jar nga kaning sa sud niya or sa iyang kuan mo jud sa akong nabantayan sa. The next one is datapayan. So as you can see in the picture pareha ra jud ni siya sa katong banga which is the water jar no pareha ra jud ni sila but they differ in their functions. Kay kung si banga is for the water, mag-store siya og water, si tapayan naman is for kanang storage ganit like food, grains, rice. So like mag-ferment ka diha nimo. So for example ani is fermented food para sa bagoong mo siya ang fermented fish di ba bagoong and tuba kaning palm wine kung diri na to isud para ma-ferment ba to siya. So these jars are prized for the ability to keep food fresh for long periods, protected from pests. So kani siya is di ba sa una is wala man joy ka nang wala pa may ref, wala pa may kuananan. So one of the kani si tapayan, one of the kuani siya ma-preserve ito ang pagkaon nga dili dugokon sa mga batang humigas, dili dugokon sa langaw, and kaning diri ipanod nila ilahang mga na-harvest nga kaning grains, sa kaning mga mais, diri nila ipanod ang kanang para pod kung magamos pud sila diri pud nila isud kay kaning tungod sa iyahang ability bitaw nga katong pores niya, katong para sa sponge nga na siya tudok-tudok, natay buho-buho. So diri is kanang mas kuan bitaw ang pagkaon, mas mapalungtad bitaw niya ang pagkaon nga dili madaot. So yes, si tapayan is again for storage. This is a storage jar for kaning sa mga pagkaon like keeping food kanang rice, grains, and again katong ma-ferment diri. And sa next slide kay mahibaw-an po nato kung unsa may kadalasan nga kana gani i-ferment sa mga Pilipino gamit ang tapayan. Pottery also plays a big role in food preservation. So fermentation and preservation. Because no, we all know that kaning us Filipino is also kana gani very mahilig jud kaayo ta sa kanang mga ferment mga gamos-gamos. So bisag sa una pa jud kay awan sud ganin si pottery, si kuan, si tapayan. So in line with this kanang tungod sa natural pores bitaw sa kaning sa pot or sa clay, tungod sa natural pores niya is kaning it allows air to pass through, which kaning is perfect bitaw for kaning food fermentation. Kay kaning lagi tungod sa iyahang natural pores, like even jud kaayo ang kaning pagpass sa hangin nga, which is very good bitaw sa in kaning fermenting. Kay kanang in that way kay mas kumbaga kaning lain pud kay sa tanan no nga kung mag-ferment ka kay walay hangin nga mo sulod, so mabaho pud siya. So tungod sa kaning mga buho-buho so makapass through ang hangin nga mas makapalami bitaw sa pagkaon ug mas tawag ani mas manindot bitaw ang fermentation, dili siya baho tungod sa hangin nga. Diba, kung kabantay bitaw mo pareha sa kanang ginamos bitaw nga naa sa kanang sa glass lang bitaw sa bildo, kay sa garapon kay kaning naay tendency no nga kung dili nimo paraton gani og kanang dili nimo paraton og timpla like daghanon nimo ang kaning asin bitaw kay mabaho bitaw siya kay dili man ka pass through ang hangin, dili man pareha ani kaning kung magamit og tapayan or magamit kaning pottery nga kaning pot or kaning clay nga materials, kung dili na to sila gamiton is kanang dili ma-achieve na to ang perfect fermentation. So mas advantage at good sa ni siya bisan pa og kaniingnon nga kanang kung tanaw lang bitaw karon kay kadalasan mas prefer na glass, dili na kanilaging ubang dili na jud kay mulingi sa asa sila nagikan. So kung papilion jud dapat jud no kay mas nindot jud ni ang kaning pottery or kaning pot ang gamiton bitaw when it comes sa kaning tapayan, specifically when it comes to fermenting bitaw sa food. But kaning karon man jud is wala am sa gunigod ang kaning tapayan. So ari lang gud sa mas convenience which is ang glass na lang jud, but lagi ang downside pod is kung dili nimo matarong og asin jud. So one of the common nga kaning i-ferment bitaw is rice, wine, and alcohol. So vessels, example like tapayan, magud siya ang kadalasan gamiton when fermenting rice wine or gitawag nga tapoy, as you can see in the picture. Kaning gisud siya sa tapayan so muna siya para ma-ferment siya. And sugarcane wine or gitawag nga base, so as you can see in the picture kaning gisud siya og tapayan, and nasa kaning right side naa dire katong gisud na siya sa glass pag after niya gisud sa tapayan. So makita din siya medyo reddish siya. So yes, puwa siya. And mao na siya ang kadalasan nga alcoholic traditional alcoholic beverages sa mga Filipino. So mo na siya like diri sa musod na pud diri si ang tuba pero sa una man siya mao man jud ni siya ang kaning kadalasan madali-dali bitaw nila nga himuon og kaning alcohol. So the other is preserving salted fish and other foods. So as we all know as kita nga Filipino is ginahan jud mga parat. So pottery is also used to preserve salted or fermented fish like bagoong and borong isda. So bagoong is punis siya shrimp paste, and borong isda is a mixture of rice and kanang fish bitaw, and gipa-ferment siya sa Osaka container. So the earthenware jars provide the right environment for controlled fermentation. It is because it's due to its porous nature nga naibuho-buho lagi para di ako ganina. So mas makontrol niya ang fermentation sa usa ka food, allowing it to develop distinctive flavors while preventing nga madaot ang usa ka food. So burong isda di ay is very popular until now in Pangasinan and Pampanga. So I know that kaning bag-o pa ni sa to ang burong isda kay we are not wala pa man ko katilaw gani ani. So kaning mao ding naa siya rice, it allows the fish bitaw to soften dali bitaw siya kay di ba ang rice is kaning very soft man siya no. So gisago siya sa isda para ang isda is dali pud siya mohumok, inig pa i-ferment na niya. So as you can see in the picture, that is the bagoong. So mo man ni kadalasan nato isago sa mangga, di ba, like hipon, shrimp paste, di ba? So ari as you can see na dira nga kaning gikuanan siya kaning bitong sa tapayan is fun fact day ang gikalo day ani is kana ganing kuan sa tawag gani kalabasa bitaw kanang gikuha ang kaning unod sa sudan kanang kumbaga di ba kaning gahi man na ang kaning kuan sa kalabasa, ang ilawom sa kalabasa no. So muna siya gikuha siya ang kaning sulod ang unod, then gipa initan, then muna siya gitakob. And also some of is kanaging bagol nga gikagi, so inana pod pwede po na siya matakob. And kaning as you can see here, very innovative kayo ang mga Filipino no, like kinsa may magdahom nga kaning tapayan is kaning pwede din siya kaning fermentan, di ba? So we have kaning very proud nga we have kaning brilliant mind jud kayo ang mga Filipino. And yes, tungod ana karon kay na-innovate siya in a way nga kanang mas dali na lang sa. Lastly, as you can see in the picture, is the burong isda. Katong rice and fish i-ferment sa Osaka container or sige gamit ang tapayan. So makita diri na kanang medyo luod siya kung kaning tan-awon, but siguro wala man siguro katilaw ani, but kanang as you can see, ana siya kaning na siya isda, pero dili lang siya makaklaro ang rice kay na mix naman siya sa isda. Kasi as I said ganina, kaning through the rice is mapahumok man jud siya ang isda. So na mix na siya. And kaning salted, fermented, yep. And that's all. Thank you, and I hope nga kaning in conclusion bitaw kaning pahalagahan bitaw nato ang kaning kung unsa ang mga na-create nila sa una, kung unsa ilang mga na-innovate, it is because kanang as again gabalik-balik ni nako, dili mahitabo or dili transition into future or into present bitaw karon sa mga butang kay kaning kung dili na to balikan jud ang undiin gud sila nagsugod kay. And also in order for us nga mas makasabot jud ta nga diin man jud ni nganong naay ingon ani, ano na ingon ana, and kaning without knowing di ay ako is kaning wala jud ko kahibaw nga kaning ma-fermentan di ay ang ganing ang pot ma-fermentan di kay I thought pag akong pagto is pagluto lang siya og pag storage lang og water, but kaning dili di ay naapog di ay kaning sa tawag ani mas kumbaga na kung hibaw-an jud bitaw kaning kung ato jung educate atong kaugalingon bitaw sa past, and kaning there are things na kanang wala ta kahibaw, and kaning it is very important for us kaning to learn bitaw, and kanang yes in learning is kanang makahibaw ta and ma-apply po nato sa tuang pang adlaw-adlaw nga kinabuhi, and mas mapahalagahan nato kay kahibaw man ta kung unsa ang kaning kung di na siya gikan, kung unsa ang mga naagian sa atong mga ancestors para ma-innovate or makuha na or ma-create na kana nga butang. So again, I am Crystal Ann Conde, the 4th reporter of Group 5. Thank you.
Good day everyone. So I am the next reporter of the Group 5. Today I will be reporting about the ritual and ceremonial functions, trade economy, and household uses of pottery in the Philippines. Pottery is one of the oldest crafts known to humans, and it has been a big part of the Filipino life since ancient times. In the Philippines, pottery was not just used for cooking or storage, but instead it also had deep spiritual, economic, and cultural importance. Through pottery, early Filipinos expressed their beliefs, supported their economy, and made tools for everyday living. In this report, I will be discussing three major rules of pottery: its rituals and ceremonial functions, its economic importance in trade, and its household uses. So we have here the first slide, the ritual and ceremonial functions. Although we often think of pottery as something used in the kitchen, it also had symbolic and spiritual meanings among indigenous communities. So, next we have the funerary jars. The funerary jars, one of the most famous examples is the Manonggol jar found in the Palawan. So this jar was used during ancient burial practices to hold the bones of the deceased. What makes it very special is design, a boat with two figures on top, symbolizing the journey of the soul to the afterlife. So this jar will show that early Filipinos believed in life after death, that pottery played a role in expressing this belief. It was not just a container, but it was a sacred object that reflected their view of life, death, and the spirit world. So we have next the ritual vessels. In other communities, there were special pots used only during important ceremonies such as weddings, harvest festivals, and healing rituals. These pots were often beautifully decorated and used to hold offerings or sacred substances. They remind us that pottery also served as a spiritual bridge between humans and the divine. The designs and symbols carved or painted on these vessels often represented prayers, blessings, or protection. So next we have the trade and economy. Next, pottery was also very important in the economic life of early Filipinos. So as what can you see, trade and economy. So in trade economy, there are local and foreign trade. Many pottery products were traded both locally and internationally. Communities near coastal areas exchanged pots and jars with their neighbors and even with foreign traders from China, India, and Southeast Asia. These clay products were traded for goods like food, textiles, beds, and other valuable materials. This trade helped build relationship between different groups and show that pottery was a respected and in-demand product. So next, we have the value. We have value of pottery in trade. Pottery had two roles in trade. First, it was used as a container for transporting items like rice, oil, or wine. Second, it was valuable trade items on its own, especially those with intricate designs and excellent craftsmanship. These pieces reflected the skill and artistry of Filipino potters, making pottery not only useful but also a symbol of economic and cultural pride. So next slide, the household and everyday uses. Of course, pottery was also part of everyday life in a Filipino household, right? So we have here the lamp, or they call tinghoy. Before electricity existed, people used pottery lamps called tinghoy for lighting at night. This simple lamp used oil and a wick to produce light. They might look plain, but they played a very important role in every home, providing warmth and brightness after dark. Next, we have the vases and flower pots. Pottery was also used for vases and flower pots, both for practical and decorative purposes. Even in these everyday items, early Filipinos showed their artistic side by adding patterns, carving, and colorful designs. This shows that they value both beauty and function, turning simple household tools into work of art. Next slide. hand building and decoration techniques. Now, let's talk about how pottery was made. Hand building is one of the oldest pottery techniques. It means shaping the clay using only the hands and simple tools. No potter's wheel was needed that time. So this method is still practiced in many indigenous communities in the Philippines today. Using hand building, potters could form different shapes like pots, jars, and bowls. After shaping, they would decorate their creation using various techniques such as carving, painting, or pressing patterns into the clay. These decorations often had cultural meanings representing community symbols in nature or belief passed down through generations. So, pottery is not just a craft, but it also a form of artistic and cultural expression. So that was all my part, and in conclusion, pottery played a multifunctional role in early Filipino life. We all know that it was used in spiritual rituals, served as a trade and economic item, and was an essential tool for daily household needs. Each piece of pottery tells a story of faith, creativity, and community life. Even today, these ancient artifacts remind us of our ancestors' skills, belief, and artistics. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Edeline M. Andrino, the 6th reporter of the Group 5, and today I will be presenting my report about hand building techniques in pottery. So in this report, we will learn about the 4 main techniques, including their steps and uses. So hand building techniques are methods of creating pottery or ceramic pieces without using a potter's wheel. So ang kaning hand building techniques kay mao ni ang paagi sa paghimo sa pottery without using sa katong potter's wheel, katong tuyok. Yes, and atong gamit ra ni is ato ang kamot. So the first technique is the pinch pot technique. So the pinch pot method is one of the simplest hand building techniques and is often the first technique taught to beginners. It involves taking a ball of clay and pressing your thumb into the center while pinching the clay between your thumb and fingers to shape it into a ball or cup. So kining pinch pot technique is mao ni ang usa sa pinakasayon nga hand building technique ug kasagaran mao ni ang gitudlo sa mga beginners or bag-o pa nag-learn sa pottery sa paghimo sa mga pot. So mao ni ang steps on how to do the pinch pot technique. So the first one is start with a ball of clay. So magsugod gyud ta sa kanang usa ka bola nga clay, kanang circle. And then, ikaduha, press your thumb into the center to form an indentation. So, kanang tusloko nimo sa imong kugmag ko ang tunga and then maghimo ka gamay nga lungag. Third, pinch the clay evenly between your thumb and fingers to form the walls of the pot. So, gamit imong kumag ko, imuha siyang i-pinch ang iyahang kilid aron maporma siya. So, ang ikaupat, continue rotating and pinching the clay until you reach the desired shape and technique. So, diri padayon gihapon nimo ang pag-pinch sa isig ka kilid aron makabot nimo ang gusto nimo nga porma or kabag-on sa imong pot. So, aron masabtan nato pamaayo ang pinch pot technique is na-provide ra ko diri og pictures kung unsaon siya paghimo. So, karon atong hibaw-an kung unsa ang uses sa pinch pots. So, pinch pots can be used to create small bowls, cups, or decorative items. So, the second technique is the coil building. So, the coil method involves rolling out long, snake-like coils of clay and stacking them to build up the walls of a pot or vessel.
This technique allows for the creation of larger, more complex shapes. So, ang kuan na gud ani sa coil building is mag-roll out ka og clay nga mura siya og bitin, and then imo ra siya ipatong-patong aron maporma ang bungbong sa imong pot. So, ang kaning coil building sad is mao ni ang technique nga makahimo gani ka og dako og complex nga porma. Yes. So, mao ni ang mga steps on how to do the coil building. So, first, roll out long, even coils of clay. So, mag-roll ra ka og clay aron mahimong taas og parehas nga coil. So, parehas sila og katason. Second, lay the first coil in a circular pattern as the base. So, ang una nimong ibutang is kanang circle siya. Ibutang ang unang coil sa porma nga lingin aron mahimong base. So, mao to siya ibutangan sa imuhang katong mga coils, katong snake-like. So, third, add additional coils on top, smoothing the joints to connect them. So, magdugang nakag coils sa ibabaw, no? Ito idugtong nimo tanan dito. So, ikaw pat, shape and smooth the vessel as you build upward to create the desired form. So, kanang human atong pagpatong-patong nimo is imo ra siya tarungon aron makuha nimo ang desired form. And then sunod, unsa the uses sa coil pots. So coil pots can be used to make larger vessels like vases, jars, or planters. So the third technique is the slab building. The slab method involves rolling out flat sheets of clay, which can then be cut and joined to form different shapes. This technique is excellent for making geometric or angular forms such as boxes or tiles. So, ang slab building or method is nagamit siya og clay nga girol aron mahimo siyang patag nga piece. So, ighuman ana putlon siya and then idugtong-dugtong aron makahimo ka og lain-lain nga shape. So here are the steps on how to do this slab building. So first, roll out a slab of clay using a rolling pin or slab roller. So ang una nimong buhaton is kanang imuha ang clay imuha siyang ipatag gamit ang rolling pin or ang slab roller. Kaduha, cut the slab into the desired shape. So, pwede nimo hang ikat ang imong slab of clay into squares, rectangles, or other forms. So, ang katulo, score and slip the edges where the slabs will be joined. So, butangan nimo og kanang gamay nga clay or lapok ang katong isig kilid aron mas mutapot pag-ayo ang katong mga desired shapes nga imuhang gipamutang. Ikaupat, press the slabs together and smooth out the seams to create the structure. So, mao na to ang steps. So, unsa ka uses sa slab building? Slab building is ideal for making flat, straight-sided objects like plates, trays, and tiles. The last technique is the paddle and anvil technique. This technique used in some indigenous pottery traditions, example in Kalinga, involves shaping a pot by using a paddle to press the clay against an anvil or stone from the inside of the pot. It is often used for large vessels and can produce a rounded, smooth form. So, kini nga technique is gamit ni sa kanang kultura dito sa Kalinga. So, nagamit sila og kanang kahoy or ang kanang gitawag nila og paddle aron ipindot ang clay batok sa katong anvil or bato nga gikan sa sulod sa pot. And then kanang kasagaran siya kanang gagamit para sa kanang dagko nga sulanan. Mao ni ang steps sa kanang pagbuhat og pot gamit ang paddle and anvil technique. So, the first step is begin by shaping the clay into a rough form. Ikaduha, use a wooden paddle on the outside and a smooth stone or anvil on the inside to gently shape and smooth the clay by tapping. So, ang ikatulo, continue paddling until the desired thickness and shape are achieved. So, di ba ang katong ang una kay imuha pa siyang kanang dili pa siya smooth, rough pa siya. So tungod sa imuhang paddle og anvil is sa imuhang pagtap or sa pag ganing tapik nimo sa kato ang sulod or sa gawas kay mura makuha na gid siya, mura siya mapurma na siya. Ang imo na yung buhaton is imong ipadayon ang pagpadol sa katong imong clay aron ma-achieve nimo ang desired shape nimo og ang iyang kabag-on. So karon unsa di ay ang uses aning paddle and anvil technique? So this technique is often used for making large rounded pots like water jars. So kasagaran ni siya gamiton sa dagko nga lingin nga pot sama sa kanang kuan kabantay mo anang banga o ing ana mara to.
Hello everyone, good morning. I am Anita Ganelli and I am the last reporter for the Group 5, and today we will talk about the pottery decoration techniques. So let's dive into the first pottery technique, which is incising and carving. So definition: technique of cutting or engraving designs into leather hard clay to create patterns, textures, or symbolic motifs. Steps: use sharp tools like knives or needles to carve designs into the clay. Etch geometric patterns, floral motifs, or other designs. Smooth the piece for a fine look or leave it textured for a rustic style. So its use creates both decorative and symbolic patterns on pottery. So, incising and carving, this is when potters cut or engrave designs directly into the clay surface. They usually do it when the clay is partly dry, so it's firm but still workable. Potters can use tools like knives or needles to draw out geometric shapes, flowers, or even symbolic patterns. After carving, they can choose to smooth it out for a clean look or leave it rough for a rustic style. So basically, it's a way to decorate pottery with lines and textures that stand out. Now let's proceed to the next one, which is the stamping. So stamping is a technique of pressing objects into soft clay to create repeated patterns or textures. The steps: first, select the stamp or object with a raised design. Press the object into the soft clay to leave an impression. Repeat to create patterns or textures across the surface. Its use: it adds texture and visual interest to plates, bowls, vases, and other pottery. So here in stamping, instead of cutting the clay, you press an object with a raised pattern like a shell, leaf, or wooden stamp into the soft clay. This leaves behind an impression or mark. If you repeat it, you get a nice pattern or texture across the piece. Stamping is also often used on bowls, plates, and vases to make them more visually interesting. Now let's move on to burnishing. So definition: polishing clay with a smooth stone or spoon to create a glossy finish without glaze. Enhances the natural beauty of the clay. So steps: first, wait until clay is leather hard. Second, rub surface with a smooth stone or spoon. Continue until shiny and smooth. Fire piece for a reflective finish. And it is used for unglazed vessels like water jars or decorative pieces. So, to explain it in simpler terms, burnishing is basically just making the surface of the clay smooth and shiny by rubbing it with a smooth stone or even a spoon. It's done when the clay is partly dry, not too soft, and not fully hard. The more you rub, the shinier it gets. This way, you don't even need glaze to make it glossy. That's why it's often used for water jars or decorative pots that are meant to stay natural. So the next technique is slip decoration. Slip is a mixture of clay plus water applied for color or texture. Can be painted, dripped, brushed, or trailed for patterns. So the steps: first, you have to mix slip to desired consistency and color. Apply slip using brush or tools. And create designs by brushing, sponging, or trailing. It adds color, texture, and patterns to functional or decorative pottery. Now, here in slip decoration, we uses what we call slip, which is like liquid clay mixed with water. Think of it like a paint made from clay itself. You can apply it with a brush or even drip or trail to make patterns. Potters use this when they want to add colors, textures, or extra designs on the pottery surface. And we're down to the last technique, which is the sgraffito. Definition: technique where slip is applied, then carved or scratched to reveal clay underneath. Steps: first, apply a layer of slip and pottery. Next, let slip dry slightly. Then use sharp tool to carve, design, exposing clay. And last, carved lines create contrast between slip and clay. It creates detailed, intricate designs with strong visual contrast. So here in sgraffito, the potter first puts a thin layer of slip over the clay. When it dries a little, they scratch or carve a design through the slip so that the real clay underneath shows. This creates a nice contrast, like dark and light areas, and makes the design stand out more. So that's all for my report. I hope you learned a lot today about the different pottery techniques and their importance. Remember that these techniques don't just make pottery beautiful, they also help artists express their creativity, culture, and tradition that has been passed down through generations. So thank you so much everyone. Again, I am Anita Ganelli and I am the last reporter for the Group 5.